Good evening and welcome to the initial broadcast of the Coach Gary Goff Show. Tiffin University head football coach, Coach Goff, joining us here on our weekly program, which is brought to you by our community-minded sponsors that include Tiffin Ace Hardware, the Animal Hospital of Tiffin, CF Professionals Incorporated, Gary Gruse's office, the Ohio Mutual Insurance Group, Jim Kennedy's office, as well as State Farm Insurance, Ed Lape's office, and Steyer Seeds. Coach Goff, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Russ. How are you? I'm
excellent, man. Football season starts next Saturday. How can I not be good?
Finally.
Yeah, finally. Well, you guys have been in camp for a little while now, and kids probably were chopping at the bit to get at somebody else, aren't they?
They are. They really are. We're tired of hitting each other. Practice after 2 weeks kind of, you kind of hit the wall. And, we had a great practice today. They're excited. I kind of got to bring them back down to earth because, we can't be ready to play till Saturday.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, Coach, this is your first show, Coach Gary Goff Show, your second year as Tiffin University head football coach, and something we discussed a little bit in the season last year and got into more heavy discussions in the offseason and put everything together, and here we are. So I think it's important for a lot of the folks to get to know Coach Gary Goff. Let's talk about you first. Let's start where it all started. What got you excited about playing football as a youngster? What got the got the bug in you?
Well, I tell you what, just the competitive nature of the game, and I played at an early age, like most young boys do, and just love the contact. Love the fact that there was discipline.
Yeah.
The game of football. A lot of coaches say that. The reason it's so important to our society is because it's probably the closest thing to joining the service.
Okay. Well,
I mean, there's just life lessons in the game.
Camaraderie, discipline, all of it comes together.
Exactly. And, I was very fortunate. I had a good high school career and then ended up playing at Valdosta State. And that's kind of where my eyes were opened a little bit. I was very fortunate to play for Hal Mumme and Mike Leach.
Yeah, anybody that knows much about collegiate football knows those two names.
Oh, two of the probably the best offensive mind-oriented guys in the game. And I played for them down there at Valdosta State. My receivers coach was Dana Holgerson, who is now the head coach at West Virginia.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we've got a lot of guys who have coached at a lot of different levels that I was very fortunate to play for. And oddly enough, I wanted to be a businessman.
Okay.
And got my business degree, and my father was a very successful businessman, and thought that was going to be the career path I took. And after about 3 years of being in the business field, I decided that I better do something I absolutely love.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's something people strive for, Coach. It's hard to find people really who are doing something that they enjoy to do.
No doubt.
A lot of people just have a job.
Yes.
Not many people get to do what they love to do. And it's awesome that you went after it, really. I mean,
well, I'll tell you, it was being a young couple, just got married, living in Atlanta. We learned the hard knocks of coaching real fast because we don't make a whole lot of money in this profession.
Yeah.
Hey, it was best, and we took our first college job at Iowa Wesleyan, and I was up there, and we actually played McKendree University, who's our first opponent this Saturday. Up there for a year. Then Hal got the head coaching job at Southeastern Louisiana, and was down there for 2 seasons at Southeastern Louisiana, where we started a program from scratch.
Oh, wow.
And I tell you what, we learned a lot as a staff and as a young coach by taking over that program. After 15 games, we were ranked 15th in the nation.
Wow.
Probably a little bit of too much success too fast, to be honest with you.
Yeah, possibly.
Because what happened next is because we won so fast there, Coach Mumme got offered the head job at New Mexico State. And, of course, a Division I job. We all took that, and we played in the WAC.
Yeah. So
we played Boise State, Fresno, and we had taken over a program at New Mexico State that had not been in the bowl game since 1959. So we had our work cut out for us there. So we were there for 4 years. From there, I got a coordinator's job at Princeton University, which was another eye-opening experience. I mean, the Ivy League is really, really fascinating, really neat. But I was there for 1 year before taking over the offense coordinator job at West Virginia Wesleyan. There for 1 season where we took a program that only won 2 games, and we went 9-2 my first year there.
Wow.
Which opened the door for this program here at Tiffin University.
Well,
so here I stand.
There's your resume.
Yeah, exactly.
There's your resume on live on the radio. This is the Coach Gary Goff Show. We are live at Coach Gary Goff's office here on the campus of Tiffin University. Our initial program will be with you, I believe, the next 12 weeks. Counting today, and then we'll have a couple more shows around recruiting time and signing day. But the emphasis of the show is going to be on the season.
Correct.
Right here. So last year, your first year, lots of changes coming off of last year and coming into this year. A lot of positive changes. You brought in a lot of kids. One thing you were really looking for in your new kids this year was the person.
Right.
Not just the athlete, a good person.
No question about it. Last year was a whirlwind. We took over a program that, is in one of the best Division II conferences in football. And, the reason the job was very interesting to me and the reason I took it is because, one, Tiffin University is committed. You can look at the facilities that, Dr. Mary and Lonnie Allen have built, and they're committed to winning. Mm-hmm. Two is the conference. It's by far the best Division II football conference in the country.
Yeah.
I mean, the GLIAC is that strong.
You see it every Saturday.
I think we had 6 players drafted this year out of the GLIAC. Mm-hmm. And then number 3, it's in the state of Ohio, which year in, year out, the state of Ohio has the top 3 high school football players in the country. Mm-hmm. So with those 3 things together, I knew we could turn this program around. Now, we've got a mountain to climb. We know that. But, referring back to last year, we had to bring in guys that fit not only to the scheme of things that we want done on both sides of the football, but more importantly, young men who are committed to the program, who care about the program, and young men that we can trust. Well, when you talk about those 3 things right there, you want high-character young men.
Absolutely.
It's easy for somebody to go out there and say, hey, well, let's go try to get this linebacker who just got kicked off of Michigan's team.
Yeah.
We don't really want that. Might be a great player, but I want a great team here. And we've got to build this team and this program from the foundation up, and that's got to be with the hard-nosed Ohio student athletes who are here to get their education first, and then second, to have a great experience and win a lot of football games.
Yeah, well, that's the goal.
Exactly.
Well, the goal for the student athlete is to get that degree.
Yes.
Come to a high quality university such as Tiffin University, get that degree, and then if you have if you're lucky enough to be part of a football team or any athletic endeavor on campus, and then to be able to put winning on top of it, I mean, that's like the icing on the cake in your collegiate experience.
Well, exactly. And you hit the point right there is if you're lucky enough. Mm-hmm. I think we took over a program that had a lot of young men who thought it was their right away or their passage to be on the scholarship and to play college football. Mm-hmm. That's not the case. People out there would die to have a scholarship.
Oh, absolutely.
And to play college football.
Sure.
And obviously, we got people in this program still that are trying to earn that scholarship. So, sometimes the entitlement generation, thinks that everything is just supposed to be handed to them, and that's not how we operate here.
Well, you were lucky enough to bring in a few high-character guys who came in January that you were able to plug right into your team this year.
We did. In this conference, there's no secret. You better stop the run.
Yeah.
And we didn't do that last year. And then, so, we set our sights very fast in recruiting of getting guys in here that fit into this conference. And, we had 3 young men that we brought in January from, Grand Rapids Community College, where they went 11-0 last year. Josh Pripple, he stepped on campus in January, and he's been at the Mike linebacker position ever since. Big kid, strong kid, smart, and very aggressive. Antonio Eder, kind of same thing. He's been a 2-year captain at the junior college he came from. He was just voted this past weekend as one of our team captains.
Wow.
To give you what kind of character this young man
has.
No doubt. He'll be a corner for us. And I tell you what, I love the guy. He's very athletic, moves around great, and he'll strike you. And then Brandon Person, a strong safety that we brought in as well. The best thing about all 3 of these guys is they're great students, they're great football players, and they were able to learn our defense back during spring ball rather than the start of camp.
I was going to say, how big of an advantage was it for those kids to come in January as opposed to coming in the summertime?
Oh, it was huge. Yeah. It was huge because they get to come in, they get to kind of conform to the team, get used to campus, and then concentrate on football there in spring for 15 workouts, and then report date. Those guys are almost veterans for us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, you speak of your new young men on the defensive side of the ball. Speaking of the defensive side of the ball, here a little bit later in the program, we're going to get a chance to talk to your new defensive coordinator. Why don't you talk about that, gentlemen?
Yeah. Seth Durr. I tell you what, Coach Durr, he's been one of my best hires. There's no question about that. He was what I was looking for. He is big on fundamentals. He pays attention to detail. He's very oriented as far as the schemes of things, knows what direction he wants, and he brings the leadership on that side of the ball. Because kids, they want to be coached. They want to be coached hard. And if they're not being coached hard or they don't believe in the scheme of things, then they're going to see right through you. Mm-hmm. But Coach Durr is we'll talk about him later. He'll be on the show. He came to us from College of Worcester, where he was a DC for 7 years, and we're very excited to have him. He's a great addition to the staff.
Is that what makes a good coach, a great coach, is not only the X and O's and knowing football, but to be able to get those kids to listen and take in what you're saying?
Well, I think a great football coach is a great teacher. You're teaching. You really are teaching. I mean, we spend a lot of hours, long days and nights in the office breaking down our opponent, trying to get their tendencies. But you know what? That can go to the wayside if you can't take that over to the field and teach these young men, what you're seeing and try to explain the technique you want done or the style of defense or offense. But, I've always said that. A great football coach is a great teacher. And there's a lot of a lot of the same things, I guess you can say, about teaching in the classroom and teaching as a coach. You got to get the kids to play for you.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, let's step aside and take our first break. When we come back, we'll talk about your opponent on Week 1, McKendree University. Kickoff at 1:30 p.m. live here in Tiffin at Frost Cow Stadium. More information on Tiffin University by going to www.tiffin.edu. More information on Tiffin University Athletics by going to www.gotiffindragons.com. So we'll step aside and take a break. We'll be back with more of the Gary Goff Show after this. You're listening to WTTF, Cool FM 93.3 and WTTF.com.